Okay, everybody. So now the first story right here, the first story that's right here is about the Statesville ghost train. Okay, the Statesville ghost train story. Okay, so um, during the early morning hours of August 27th, 1891, a passenger train left Salisbury, North Carolina for Asheville. The train never made it any further than Boston Bridge, a 60-foot stone brick arch bridge over Third Creek. The 1858 vintage structure, which is used to this day in it is near Statesville, North Carolina. The next apartment stop after the next important stop after Salisbury on the line to Asheville at about 3 a.m. At about 3 a.m. At about 3 a.m., the ill-fated train derailed and plunged. The ill-fated train derailed and plunged off Bostonian's Bridge, falling 60 feet into the creek below. 22 people died from the shock of the fall or from drowning in the waters of the creek. It was the worst wreck in North Carolina history. Since that time, the Salisbury Asheville line has become part of the Southern Railway system. Now Norfolk Southern. Our story now goes forward in 50 years to the early morning hours of August 27th, 1941. A woman stranded along the road that periled the Southern railway near Statesville was waiting for her husband, who had gone for who had gone for help. They had a flat tire. They had a flat tire, and she and heard a train whistle in the distance, and a headlight appeared down the track. As the train approached her, it began to cross a high bridge. Suddenly, the engine derailed, and the train plunged off the bridge into a creek below. The horrible sounds of the wreck were soon replaced by the groans and cries of wounded people. The woman ran toward the wreck and looked into the creek bed. The sight was horrendous. The engine tender and passenger cars were a twisted mass of wreckage that was quickly being flooded by the waters of the creek. Just then, she heard a car pull up behind her, and she ran towards it, screaming that a terrible wreck had just happened. Her husband was in the car with a stranger who owned a nearby country store. The men went to look at the ravine, but there was nothing there. Apparently, the train had been a ghost train reacting to the wreck of 1891. Since then, Statesville youths have frequented the Bostonians Bridge area on night outings to look for the ghost. Sometimes conducting informal census there. On the 100th anniversary of the wreck of August 27, 1991, newspaper stories about the haunting led hundreds of people to the bridge. Onlookers were parked all along the rural road that runs by the area, waiting for the ghost train. While vendors sold t-shirts and drinks, while some ghost hunters claimed that they did see or hear a ghost. Most, including the author, agree it didn't appear. The imprinter anniversary gathering seems destined to become local folklore in its own right. Oh.